Welcome on AI Teaches History channel. Like, share, and subscribe.
You wake before sunrise. Your bed is nothing more than straw laid across cold, hard ground. Around you, 7 other soldiers sleep inside the same cramped leather tent. There is little privacy, little comfort, and almost no personal space. Your cloak serves as a blanket. Your shield, helmet, and weapons lie beside you, close enough to reach in the darkness. Breakfast is simple: hard bread, grain porridge, perhaps a little cheese, several olives, and a cup of wine diluted with water. There is no time to eat slowly. Before the sun appears above the horizon, you are already fastening your armor, checking your weapons, and preparing your marching equipment. A Roman soldier did not carry only a sword and shield. He carried food, tools, cooking equipment, wooden stakes, rope, spare clothing, and everything needed to survive away from a permanent fort. The combined weight could reach approximately 30 kilograms, and before nightfall, you might be expected to march another 30. Your destination could be a permanent frontier fort, or simply an empty stretch of hostile territory. Rome's legions operated thousands of kilometers from the capital. They guarded borders stretching across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East. A soldier stationed in Britannia might spend years without seeing Rome. Wherever the legion stopped, it transformed the landscape. The ground was measured, straight lines were marked with ropes and wooden stakes, soldiers dug defensive trenches and raised timber walls. Even a temporary camp followed a strict military plan. The command area stood near the center. Tents were arranged in ordered rows. Supplies had assigned locations. Entrances were guarded and controlled. Every unit knew exactly where it belonged. This organization allowed thousands of men to create a defended settlement in a remarkably short time. But that speed depended on physical labor. After marching for hours under heavy equipment, soldiers could spend several more hours digging, carrying timber, and building defenses. Only when the camp was secure were they permitted to rest. Reaching the camp did not mean the work was finished. Every weapon, shield, and piece of armor had to remain ready for immediate use. A dirty or damaged blade could fail. A broken shield strap could leave a soldier exposed. A loose armor fitting could become dangerous during a march or battle. Blades were cleaned and sharpened. Leather straps were inspected. Damaged shields were repaired with wood, hide, and metal fittings. Soldiers were expected to maintain much of their own equipment. Training also continued, even after difficult marches. Legionaries practiced moving as a unit. They raised their shields together. They advanced in step. They responded immediately to commands from their officers. Roman military effectiveness did not depend only on individual strength or courage. It depended on discipline. A single soldier breaking formation could create a gap. That gap could expose the men beside him. Punishment for repeated mistakes could be severe. The legion demanded obedience because, during battle, hesitation could kill an entire section of soldiers, and when training ended, there was always more work waiting. Roman soldiers were not only warriors. Much of their time was spent working as builders, engineers, and laborers. They constructed roads that allowed armies and supplies to move through conquered territory. They built bridges, watchtowers, defensive walls, and permanent forts. They dug drainage channels and wells. They repaired damaged buildings and cleared land. A legionary might spend more days holding a shovel than holding a sword in battle. The same tools carried during the march were used to reshape the frontier. Road construction was particularly demanding. Soldiers first cleared and leveled the ground. They placed large stones as a foundation. Smaller stones and gravel were layered above them. The surface was then compacted to create a durable military road. These roads served the army, but they also connected cities, settlements, and trade routes. Many became part of the infrastructure that allowed the Roman Empire to survive for centuries. For the individual soldier, however, the work was exhausting. Hands became cracked and blistered. Backs and shoulders suffered under repeated heavy loads, and officers still expected the soldiers to remain ready for combat. Food was essential because marching, training, and construction consumed enormous amounts of energy. A soldier's diet depended on location, season, and available supplies. Grain was one of the most important foods. It could be baked into bread or cooked into porridge. Soldiers also ate beans, lentils, onions, cheese, olives, and dried fruit. Meat was available, but not necessarily with every meal. Salted or dried meat was easier to transport than fresh meat. Wine was commonly mixed with water. This helped improve the taste of questionable water and made it easier to consume during daily life. Soldiers often prepared their own meals in small groups. They ground grain, collected firewood, and cooked over open fires. Food could become scarce during long campaigns. Supply wagons could be delayed, roads could become impassable, enemy forces could attack supply routes. In those conditions, soldiers might depend on local farms, purchased goods, or food taken from the surrounding territory. Hunger weakened discipline and reduced an army's ability to fight. For this reason, Roman commanders treated supply organization as seriously as weapons and training. An army without food could not remain an army for long. Roman military camps were often more organized than the settlements around them. They included drainage systems, water supplies, and designated latrine areas. Camp latrines could use long wooden benches positioned over drainage trenches. Water channels helped remove waste and provided a basic cleaning system. This did not make the camps clean by modern standards. Soldiers lived close together. They shared tents, food preparation areas, and washing facilities. Parasites, contaminated water, and infectious disease remained constant threats. A soldier could survive battle and still die from fever, infection, or intestinal illness. Minor injuries were also dangerous. Blisters from marching could become infected. Cuts caused by tools or weapons could worsen rapidly. Military medics treated wounds using water, cloth, oils, herbs, and surgical instruments. Roman medicine could be surprisingly advanced in certain areas, especially when treating physical injuries. But there were no antibiotics. A deep wound or serious infection could easily become fatal. Bathhouses were sometimes available near permanent forts. Soldiers could wash, rest, and recover from duty. During campaigns, however, hygiene might mean nothing more than washing in a cold river. A Roman soldier received regular pay, but the amount he kept could be much smaller than expected. Deductions could be made for food, clothing, replacement equipment, and other expenses. Part of a soldier's earnings might also be saved or withheld. The promise of future rewards remained important. After completing long service, a veteran could receive money, land, or other benefits, but reaching retirement was never guaranteed. Military service could last 20 years or more. During that time, soldiers faced long separation from home, harsh discipline, and the constant possibility of injury or death. Punishment maintained order. Minor offenses could result in extra duties, reduced rations, fines, or physical exhaustion. More serious offenses, especially desertion or cowardice, could bring severe consequences. Roman discipline could be brutal because commanders believed fear of punishment prevented larger disasters. But life in the legion also offered opportunities. A soldier could earn status, learn technical skills, and become part of one of the most powerful institutions in the ancient world. Some developed careers as engineers, clerks, medics, craftsmen, or officers. For poor men, military service could provide income, food, and a path to a different life. The price was obedience. Despite all the marching, construction, and training, the possibility of battle was always present. Before combat, soldiers stood in formation and waited. The hours before fighting could be more frightening than the battle itself. Men listened to distant movement. They checked their straps and weapons repeatedly. They looked toward an enemy they might not yet be able to see. When the order came, the unit moved together. Shields protected the body. Pila were thrown to disrupt enemy formations. The gladius was used at close range. Roman soldiers were trained to fight as part of a machine, but no formation removed fear. No armor guaranteed survival. After battle came silence, exhaustion, and the treatment of the wounded. Broken weapons and damaged shields covered the ground. Surviving soldiers helped injured comrades and counted those who had not returned. The next day, the work continued. Weapons had to be repaired. Defenses had to be rebuilt. The dead had to be buried, and the legion might soon begin marching again. This was the reality of life for a Roman soldier. Not endless glory, not constant battle, but years of discipline, labor, discomfort, and uncertainty. The Roman Empire was built by soldiers who marched, dug, constructed, guarded, and endured. For most of them, survival was the greatest victory of all.